Now the table element is used in what? Designing a table in HTML. The table element. Each table element will have two other elements, which is the TR element, which stands for table row element, and then the TD element, which stands for table data. Information or table in HTML is mostly done in rows. So row by row by row, and each row will have its own data. That is the content of a particular cell. Each block in a table is a cell or a table cell. Let's go on our text editor and then practicalize this. Before going to our text editor, let me explain some terms we all use, okay? Some commonly used terms. Most of us, we are not able to differentiate between a row and a column properly. Now, from this place, the selected portion is what we call a column, not a row. A row is what I've selected now. The row spans horizontally, okay? It spans horizontally, whilst the column spans vertically. So the column may be containing an information about a particular topic. So all the information about people or about the same thing that are, let's say I want to fill this table and I write names here. Almost every part of this column will contain the person's name. So it can be different people's name all in a particular column with the column header names or the column label names. When I come here and I write age, okay, it will contain a specific information about the ages of people. But when I come to a particular column, the particular column contains all the information about a particular individual. So that's the difference between a row and a column. A row has a detailed information about a particular person or a particular place. So in HTML, we design our tables using what? Rows. Okay, so that we are able to what? Store the information about one particular person before coming to the next row. Each particular block you see here is a cell, like I said. So this is a cell. This is a particular cell I've selected. This is also a different cell. That is also a different cell. Each cell will have an information in it, and that is what? The data. That is a data. That is a data. That is a data. So each table, before you can complete a table in HTML, you are supposed to what? Insert both the table row, which is TR, and a table data, which is TD, or in a table element, which is what? Table. So now let's go to our text editor. Now let me go to my index page. So we start a table by what? First of all, declaring the table tag, the table element. So let's do it quickly. Table. Okay, I close. I get a completion. First thing I told you, we represent information in rows. So let me do a TR to represent what? A table row. When I close it, I get the completion. That's what? Table row. Alright, so when you do the TR, each TR represents one row. So the number of data in the row will determine the number of columns the table should have. So for instance, if I do a TD here to represent a table data, this represents the very first column I have. When I do another table data, which is another TD, this will represent what? The second column. When I do another TD, this should represent the third. When I do another TD, this should represent my fourth column. What I have to do is now to put in the values I want. So let's say I put 1 here, okay, I put 2 here, I put 3 here, I put 4 here. So what we have actually done is we have now inserted what values, or we've inserted data into our columns. So this represents the columns and this represents a row. So this is a first row, which is the TD. All the information here is what in a row, and each of the TDs represent a column. So this is only one row but 4 columns we've done. If you want additional row, you come under this first row and create another what table row. So that's how you represent information inside the table row. I also do another TD. Okay, in this case when I do TD here, this is what another column on the second row. Let me just copy 3 of this and then just paste it to represent another 4 rows. I can decide to make this value 2, I'll make this value 4, I'll make this value 6, and I'll make this value 8. If I want another row with 4 columns, what I do is I copy. I want to move faster, so I'm doing a copying and then a pasting, a lot of copying and other pasting. Let me just do this 6. Let me just do 3. Let me do 6. Let me do 9. And let me do 12. So if I want another, I just do it. So this is the main table. The main table we are creating. Everything here is the table. This part represents the first. This part represents the first row, and inside the first row there are 4 different columns which has 4 different data. This is the second row. In the second row too, we have 4 different values or data in 4 different rows. This is the third row. So if I want to create 50 row, a table that has 50 row, I'm supposed to do 50 of these ones, okay? And then if I want to create multiple columns, depending on the number of columns I use a TD. So let's save this one. Let's do save, and then come and open it in our browser. This is what we've created. This is the table we've created. Mind you, because you are not seeing the lines or the grid, it doesn't mean they are not tables. There are various types of tables. Let me explain using my word here. Let me come here. If you check this place, you see different ways of representing information. The same table. These are plain tables, as you can see here, plain tables, and these are grid tables, and there are various ways. Not all of them have those borders around them, the table borders around them. There are some that are list tables, like this, list tables. Okay, so we will go through each of them and how to modify our tables. These are all list tables and their examples. Okay, not all tables have. So when you see on our browser no table borders, it doesn't mean they are not tables.